SEO, search engine optimization. You've probably heard that term get thrown around a lot if you're a business owner. And if you don't know what that is or what that means, then I'm sorry, I'm going to make it even more confusing for you because I'm going to be talking about social media SEO, which is something that isn't as often talked about. So a little bit of backstory. I was at a quote a few months ago. Actually, this was a long time ago now, probably 6 months ago at this point. And you know, when people book quotes with us, we ask a set of questions. And one of the questions is, how did you find out about us? Now, I usually look at this before I do a quote with someone just to get an idea of where my customers are coming from. And I remember this particular person, they answered that they found me from Instagram. So I'm like, okay, this person probably just found me on their explore page, or I popped up in their recommended or something. And that's how they found out about me. Like, that makes the most sense to me. A lot of people have found me because I pop up on their For You page on TikTok and the algorithm just delivers me to them. And it's great. So we get to the end of the quote and I just asked her, I was like, so how did you find out about us? Because usually there's a bit more to it, and it's good when they elaborate because you can kind of walk through the process of them finding you online, which is really helpful information that can assist you in getting more customers like that. And I wasn't really prepared for what she said. She said that she had gone on Instagram that day and she searched up how to remove mold in a bathroom. And my video was the first one that popped up. Now, I had this video that I filmed a long time ago. It was just a video of me talking about mold facts, like, you know, how mold grows, the type of surfaces that you'll commonly find it on, the different types of mold, how you can remediate it, and, you know, some myths that I busted to do with mold. Just that kind of video. And that video popped up when she searched for that term. And so she watched that video and she started following me, and she ended up booking a quote with me because she wanted to, one, get this mold problem dealt with in her bathroom, and two, she wanted a regular cleaner on top of that. She wanted to do a big, deep clean, get on top of that mold issue, and then just carry on with regular monthly cleans as well. So she's still a client to this day. She's very, very happy. But that was kind of a light bulb moment for me. Even though I've been making videos for 3 years now, and I felt like I had a pretty good sense of what I was doing, I didn't understand the game behind the game there. I didn't really understand the strategy behind the videos I was creating. I was inadvertently doing it. I was subconsciously doing this without really realizing it, but I have been practically optimizing my videos for search intent. And what I mean by that is I am targeting my ideal customer through the videos I make with the type of topics I talk about, how-to videos, informative videos, and people are searching for these on Instagram and TikTok and whatever other social platforms like Facebook, and my videos are popping up. And oftentimes, they're searching these things because they're at their peak interest, they're at their peak intent for wanting some sort of problem dealt with, wanting a solution to a problem. Okay, so a lot of people have now seen that mold video of mine. I've since gotten several customers from that video that I know of, and it's because they just searched up, you know, I've got mold in my shower, or how do I remove mold from my kitchen sink? And for some reason, that video pops up for everything. It's just kind of encompassed everything to do with mold somehow. So I think it got like 200,000 views. And yeah, it was like this light bulb moment. I'm like, I can get so many customers just by talking about different topics that my potential customers might be searching for. And it just like, it flipped the whole script on, you know, just trying to go viral and trying to hit the For You page and hit the algorithm over and over again and rack up millions and millions of views, and, you know, just get the name out there and get the brand out there, and then the people will come. But this is like a completely different thing. This is very, very targeted. It can be very micro. It can be macro. You can get hundreds of thousands or millions of views on these videos, like I have done as well. But then there's been some videos of mine where I've talked about a pretty niche topic, like 7 things you need to know before hiring a house cleaner. Now, that video, by my standards, didn't do very well. It's got a few thousand views, probably something like 10,000 now. But that got me a lot of customers. And it's because there's people out there that are going on Instagram and going on TikTok and other social medias, and they're searching for content related to that because they're looking at getting a house cleaner, or maybe they have a cleaner at the moment and, you know, they're not happy with them, so they're looking out there in the market and seeing what's out there. One of my other customers is Kika Latif. She's a pretty famous Instagrammer. She's like I think she's got like 400,000 followers, very famous in like the fashion lifestyle kind of space. And she booked a quote with me. And I remember doing the quote with her and I was like, so how'd you find out about me? And she was like, oh, I went on Instagram and I searched up house cleaners in Perth. And one of your videos popped up where I was talking about how I clean houses in Perth. And so I was like, oh my God, people are now using social media as if it's Google, right? And you think about it, it's the same kind of thing. Like every day, people aren't just going on TikTok and Instagram to be entertained. They're going on it to be informed. They're going on it to stay up to date. They're going on it to find, I do this now. I look up restaurants and cafe recommendations and things to do recommendations and new places I visit. I do that on TikTok and Instagram because I want to get a visual for what I'm actually going to be going after. Whereas Google, you might, type in house cleaners and you get hit with a 1,000 different results. But what do you really do with that? How do you identify the ideal pick out of this sea of sameness, right? That's where TikTok and Instagram and these other platforms are different because you can search the same thing and get a very, very different, personalized and more intricate result, right? You can get a video that showcases exactly what you're looking for. You can get the comments that go with it and all that social proof. And if you flip it as the creator of that video, it immediately builds trust in the audience. It immediately builds that credibility for you as the expert, as the figure of authority. And that's what I've done through creating these different types of videos like how to clean mold or mold facts, mold myths busted, things you need to know before hiring a house cleaner, how to clean faster, all these different videos. They're all targeting different niche topics. And since I had that light bulb moment, I've kind of thrown or sprinkled more of these videos into my catalog where I just talk about a little topic and I mention certain keywords in the video and I write them on screen and I write them in the caption and put them in the keywords. And these customers, they slowly trickle through. Now, these videos don't do as well as my viral ones, which get millions of views and, subsequently they get customers as well. But it's funny, the videos that I intentionally post with the idea or with the goal or the aim to get customers, like specifically related to whatever the video is talking about, they can get 5,000 views and I'll get the same amount of bookings or inquiries from that video as one of my videos that has 3 or 4 million views. Even though that's about cleaning as well, I'm still the same person in that video and I'm still, it's that account is still linked to my business. I get the same amount of customers from some videos that are, pulling in 3, 4, 5,000 views. And it's because I'm speaking to that pain point. I'm speaking to that topic that these people are searching for right now. There isn't much different about the video. Like, I'm not promoting the business. That's the complete opposite of what I'm going for. I'm just trying to build that trust and that credibility and just speak to that issue or speak to that pain point or speak to that topic. And, I'm not pushing the brand on anyone. I'm not even mentioning, that I own a cleaning business, but inevitably people will go looking. They start to consume more of your content. They like that video. They might go straight to your bio and see that, it says that you're the owner of a cleaning business. They check out that business on Instagram, see all the photos, and then they're like, all right, I'm convinced this guy is, he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. I want to get him in to clean my house. Or they just, hit the follow button, don't think much of it. And because TikTok and the Instagram algorithm knows, because their algorithms are insanely smart. It's how they keep us trapped in their apps for so many hours at a time, because they know that that person is interested in your content because they've gone out of their way and searched for it and consumed a whole video and interacted with your account. They're now going to show that person more and more videos, a disproportionate amount of your content versus other people at that point in time. And so they're just going to be seeing video after video after video of yours for like the next couple of days or couple of weeks or even months, because the algorithm knows that they're just really hot in that interest right now. They're really honed in on whatever you're talking about in your videos. And so they just see you again and again and again. And eventually they just end up booking. Like they end up becoming a customer because they've spent so much time with you. And these are people that you've never met. You would never even realize it, but they have consumed, hours of your content in some cases. And then, in their mind, you're like this celebrity, this figure of authority, this expert. And meanwhile, you're just a guy or a girl that's just making content about something you like or something that you're passionate about. So it has this really cool effect, this really cool overarching effect of like credibility and trust and authority, and also building that brand presence and just staying at the top of that person's consciousness until they're ready to act then, or, maybe they're ready to act right then and there when they search the thing up in the first place. But I think it's a really cool shift that we're experiencing now in the online space, where people are, moving, like they're still using Google. Like Google still has its place, but there's a lot more people now that are searching for things on Instagram and TikTok. They're looking for businesses, they're looking for services, they're looking for products, and they're searching for it more and more on these social media apps. Doesn't mean that we're going to see Google go obsolete. We might see that they adapt a little bit. We've already seen Google has adapted to e-commerce by adding a shopping tab in their search. They've added other tabs over the years that you probably don't even know about. And, they're integrating AI and stuff with that. They've integrated AI search results, all this stuff. So it's not going to be phased out or obsolete at any point. Well, it could be, who knows? But the point is, this is like an early adoption stage. This is something where you can get ahead of the curve, because not many people know about this. There's not many people that are intentionally creating content, particularly not businesses. Businesses are not doing this. There might be some savvy creators out there that are doing this to grow their audience, but I can guarantee you there's not many cleaning businesses that are intentionally creating content to drive people to an action based on a common search interest or a niche search interest. So this is a really good time to capitalize and get in ahead of the curve and adopt or be an early adopter of this new, wave of social media SEO, because it is going to be a massive thing in 2026. We are seeing more and more people flood these social media apps. We're seeing more people turn away from Google to find businesses and services that they can use and trust. And it has this added effect of, the algorithm just shoving your content down their throats and them just being bombarded with your stuff every day. Like, I've got people that tell me I live on their For You page. And then there's some people that tell me like, oh yeah, I see your videos like every now and then. But the algorithms are smart. So if you know how to play the game, you can do very, very well with it. And it's going to net you a lot of customers and thus a lot of money. So I'm going to talk about some kind of strategies and some ways that you can capitalize on this and best use this to your advantage, because it is a very, very powerful thing, a very powerful tactic that you should add to your repertoire this year and beyond. And a good way to frame it is that Google is kind of like long form answers, whereas social media, a lot of the time, it's kind of fast answers with visuals. It's the same intent, it's just a different format. And actually, Google is now pulling its information from different sources outside of, what's just on Google. Like when you search like my name on Google, if you search Jason Cleans on Google, it pulls information from TikTok and Instagram, because it knows that that's what's relevant now. That is what is going to be the forefront of, all information going forward, if it's not already. It's where everyone is staying up to date, getting informed, learning things, being entertained. So if Google's doing it, then you know that it's very important. So when we talk about peak intent, because I was talking about the search intent, like how can you capture these people's attention and their intention as well? Because when they're searching for something like, how to clean mold in a shower, they're not searching that because they don't have mold in their shower. If they've got a spotlessly clean shower, if their shower is meticulously clean, do you think someone's going to be searching something like, how do I clean a mold-ridden shower? Probably not. And if they are, they'd be searching it for someone else who they know has a mold-ridden shower. And so when they search that, they're at that peak intent state, which means that someone has a problem right then and there. It's, it could be a mild stress or an annoyance, or it could be a high stress or high annoyance. It could be urgent. It could be like it has to be dealt with now, and they're actively looking for solutions to that problem. So examples in cleaning, it could be like, mold in the shower, mold in the bathroom, mold in an aircon unit, things like that. It could be bad smells, like how do I get rid of bad smells in my kitchen, right? You do a video about that. I've done a video about bad smells in the house. That got a lot of views, got a lot of media attention, and it also got me some customers too. You can have things like moving out soon, like things you need to know before you move out of your house. That type of video is probably not going to get shown to people who aren't going to be moving out soon. Obviously, it's going to land on some people's For You pages, and that's also going to be shown to people who are, in that kind of mindset, or in that kind of demographic of people that are moving out soon, because inevitably, if you're searching for things related to that, then the algorithm still is going to show you stuff related to that. So if you make a video about that, not only is it going to be there forever so that people, when they search something along those lines, they get shown that video, but all the other people in that demographic, if they've been showing interest in that topic, then there is a chance that that video will get shown to them on their For You page or Explore page or whatever. So could be things about, moving out soon, end of lease, that sort of thing. Could be, guests are coming over. How do we speed clean the house for when guests are coming over? Real estate inspections. Like if you have an agent coming over to do a rental inspection, like that is a high stress thing. Can't we all agree on that? Agents are just, I don't even want to say anything. If there's any agents listening to this, I don't love you guys, but yeah. Anyway, high stress, high annoyance, urgent. If you make a video about, how to get your house properly maintained and ready for a rental inspection, like that is a very good pain point and a good market to hit on. You can, there could be a video about like how you can't keep up with cleaning, how you can break down your cleaning around the house easier, and that kind of angle. And you might think, well, that's not people that are searching for a cleaner. That's people searching for ways that they can make it easier for themselves. But then, you can have a hook at the end that says, well, if you want to just be able to kick back and relax and experience the luxury of having a professional come and do it for you, then, you can call us for a free quote, blah, blah, blah. There's all sorts of different angles that you can go with here. I'm just trying to spitball here and give you some ideas. So, you want your content to show up before they're looking for a cleaner or before they found a cleaner, not after. We want to capture these people when they're at their peak intent or very close to it. Even if they're not at peak intent, like I talked about before, they're probably going to follow you because they've showed interest, they've searched this up, they've watched your video, they're going to follow you, and they're going to continue to get shown more and more of your content until they reach that peak intent stage, or that stage in the buying journey where they're ready to buy right now. Because there's this whole thing about the buying pyramid. There's like a massive percent of the market is not ready to buy right now. Small percentage is going to buy at some point in the future. And only a very, very small percentage, like 3% of the market, is ready to buy right now. So even if you don't capture them at that peak intent, they're probably going to get to that stage later on. And so the type of content that converts well is actually content that isn't conversion focused too. So it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but if you've watched any of my videos and on TikTok and Instagram and the likes, you'll know that I don't really push any sort of offer or any sort of agenda, which kind of goes against the grain of what marketing professionals and experts will tell you. And that's because the type of content that converts is actually the stuff that isn't conversion focused. So what I mean by that is there's no sales pitch, there's no offer, there's no DM me to learn more. There's just, it's facts, it's educational, it's got that calm, sense of authority, I know what I'm talking about, that expert kind of tone, and it's just value. And you're not asking for anything in return, because that's not how organic content should be framed. If you want to make a paid ad, then have a sales pitch, have an offer, have a DM me, have all that stuff. But organic content that converts, it is not conversion focused. So you want to just build that trust. You want to just build that kind of that expertise, that figure of authority, aura, because I can't think of a better word. Aura. That's what you want to create for yourself. You want to have that aura as the authority, as the expert in your space. And so that educational content, it's going to attract buyers better than promotional content. That's just how you win on TikTok and Instagram, especially with organic. You don't want to be trying to be too promotional, trying to force an agenda down anyone's throat, or making too many offers. You just want it to be professional or even laid back and organic and educational, and just have that authoritative kind of tone. Is it authoritative or authoritative? I don't know. Why am I just pondering this now? I'm not very well versed on the English language. Someone let me know. But anyway, you know what I mean. If you've seen my videos before, you get the gist of it. So these are some of the kind of, I guess, topics that you should be thinking about when you're creating content that is focused on search intent and optimizing that SEO on social platforms. So I'm just going to give you some, I guess, topic buckets. So different segments or different niches or just different topics, and I'll just rattle off some ideas in each of those buckets. And that should hopefully get the wheels in your brain turning a bit and get you thinking a little more about this topic, because it's the possibilities are just endless. Like, there is an infinite amount of different content that you can create along these lines. So here's a couple of topic buckets, I'm going to call them, that you can use to just brainstorm some video ideas so you can start to build that SEO presence on your social media. So number one, it could be a problem search. So like we talked about before, mold in bathroom, mold in showers, mold in sinks. It could be streaky mirrors. Like people are always commenting like, oh, how do you get your glass so streak free? Like, oh, I use Windex and it does a terrible job. It's like, yeah, you don't say. This is how you get your mirrors and your glass and your windows streak free. You make a video about that. Now, every time someone searches how to clean my windows or how to clean my mirrors and how to clean them streak free, your video has a chance at popping up. And it's also going to have a chance at popping up for people who have been searching for stuff like that before or recently. So you've also got like, soap scum. Like, how do you deal with soap scum and limescale buildup and these different types of like, pink mold. That's a buzzword that gets thrown around a lot, and black mold and things like that. You can make videos with that topic, and pet hair, how to get pet hair out of carpets and out of your clothes and all sorts of things, and hard water stains and smells like we talked about before. That's a very hot topic apparently. I guess a lot of people have very, very stinky homes. Ew, couldn't be me. No, I'm kidding. I just had my apartment cleaned today by one of my cleaners, and side note, yeah, she, getting a bit off topic, but she opened up the drain cover in my shower, which I just didn't even think about. Because I was like, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here. This is just like a random story from today that I just remembered. We had like a cancellation, and I was like, oh, I need my apartment cleaned, so I'll bring my cleaner in to clean that. She did that, and my place hasn't been cleaned properly in like a while, like a deep clean in quite a few months. So she went in the bathroom, she lifted up the drain cover, and I went in there as she was doing that, and I was horrified. I was so embarrassed. It was disgusting. It was like something out of a horror movie, and I felt so bad that she had to do that, and it was like, oh, so gross. So that's another thing as well. Like, if you have a smell in your bathroom, make a video about how you can, lift up your drain cover and give that a clean, and that might eliminate the smell, so you don't be like Jason Cleans and have like the most revolting bathroom ever. So yeah, I'm kind of exposing myself on that one. I should have been keeping on top of that a bit better myself. So, that's another one. Smells in houses, apparently a very hot topic. Grease in kitchens, how to clean your microwave, those sorts of things. How to clean the barbecue in time for summer, just things like that. And it could be like, they want a solution to that problem right then and there. So if you've got a video for it with a solution, then bang, you've just solved their problem, and you're not trying to sell them anything. You're just doing what's necessary. So that's one topic bucket. That's like the problem bucket. You've also got bucket number 2, which is like how to clean content. So I've got a lot of this. This is what I love to do. This is also the type of content that tends to go viral. So like how to clean a shower, like really how to clean a shower, like get rid of limescale, deal with grout lines, all that sort of stuff. All the videos I do on that topic, they get millions of views. So that's one. You can do like how to clean a bathroom and how often to do it, that sort of thing. How to clean grout. If you want to get specific, you can do like the whole shower clean, and you can actually repurpose that content and then make a shorter video where you're just showing people how to clean the grout using the same footage from that video. So you can even turn bigger videos into lots of smaller videos. And you can also, take that video and then make it into another one where it's like how to clean just shower glass, because there's going to be people that are searching how to get hard water buildup off my shower glass, and they don't need the whole spiel about grout and all the other stuff as well. So there's that. You can do like how to clean without harsh chemicals, or how to clean when I have a newborn baby in the house, or how to clean when I've got pets roaming around everywhere. That sort of stuff. How to clean the barbecue, how to clean my ceiling fans, how to clean my aircon vent. There's a million, billion, gajillion different things that you could be doing in that respect. So bucket number 3 as well is like trust and hiring questions. So I think I talked about it earlier. Like I made a video that was 7 things you need to know before hiring a house cleaner. That did very well. It got me a lot of customers. So you can do things like that. You can do videos like, what to look for in a house cleaner, difference between cheap versus professional cleaners, how much house cleaning should cost. Like that's a very hot search term. Lots of people will be searching for things along those lines. So if you do a video about that, then you hit the nail on the head there. Red flags when hiring cleaners. That's a good one too. You're like hitting a buzzword there. Red flag is something that people love throwing around. And then you're pairing that with another common search term and you're bringing it all together. So that's a good one as well. We've got bucket number 4, which is like prevention and maintenance. So examples of that could be how to stop mold coming back, how often to deep clean, daily habits that reduce cleaning time, things like that. And so those are just a couple of topic buckets that you can kind of dip into and just give you a little bit of an idea of what type of content you can be making and how those different pieces of content can be kind of angled and postured towards a certain demographic that's going to be searching for that. And so, if you have an ideal customer avatar, which you hopefully should do by now, I think everyone should have one. They should have a very clear idea of who exactly they'd like to serve and the type of customer they'd really want to have in their cleaning business. So if you think about that person and think about their pain points and problems and things they like and things they desire and things about their house that they care about, if you start to map these things out, you can also brainstorm other ideas for things that they would potentially be searching about on social media that are things that you could help with or things that you're an expert on, that kind of thing. But that's a whole other thing. I think I've done an episode about dream avatars. So anyway, you also want to make sure that your SEO focused content is going to be searchable on social media. So it's not good enough to like make a video about one of these topics and then, try to be too, I guess, clever with the wording of it and the positioning of the content. I'm seeing lots of people that they're trying to be too outside the box and too ambiguous and too different and unique, and it's just missing the mark entirely. Like instead of making a video about a really dirty shower and the process and the result of cleaning it, there's people that do that and they make the caption like bathroom nightmare, and that's what the keywords are, like, oh, this is a horror show, and that might go viral and that might get a lot of views. But if you just shift the angle a little bit and move it towards something along the lines of how to remove mold from your shower or how to clean years of limescale buildup off your shower, it's still keeping a little bit of that context, but it's framing it in a way that is more searchable for people that are potentially going to be looking for that kind of solution to a problem. So like if someone can't search it, like they're not going to find it. The algorithm may push it to them, but we're talking about that demographic or that section of the market that is searching for stuff right now. And you have a very, very prime opportunity to be placing content that is focused on that pain point right in front of them, right then and right there. So we want to be making sure that we're putting the keywords in the caption, in the on-screen text, because the algorithms are very smart and they can see this stuff. You want to make sure it's in the first line of the description. You want to make sure you're saying the keywords out loud in the video. You just want to be repeating the keywords throughout all the different facets of the video, the on-screen text, the captions, the keywords, the description, everything. And the reason that this beats virality, which, I don't want to discount going viral, because obviously that's great for building your brand and you will get customers from going viral. Like I've said, I've got videos that will get like 4 or 5 million views, and obviously I get customers from that. But funnily enough, I get the same amount of customers from a video that gets 5,000 views. It just depends on the angle and the intention behind it. But there's no reason to discount virality. It's still great, but it's just not something that you can fully count on, not something that you can fully rely on and predictably do again and again. There's videos I make and I spend so much time creating them and I think like, oh, this is definitely going to go viral. And then it flops and I get no views and I'm like, that sucked. So this is something that's more predictable and more measurable and more scalable. And it's just easier for people, especially starting out. So the reason that this beats chasing that virality is because viral content usually goes to a very broad, ambiguous, and oftentimes random audience. And it has a very short shelf life as well. Like your video, it might stay hot for a few days or a few weeks, but after that's run its course, it's kind of done. Whereas the search-based content, it's likely going to get lesser views. It's going to have a smaller audience, but it's going to have higher intent, and it's going to have a much longer lifespan on the social platforms than the viral content. Like I've got videos from 3 years ago that have millions of views. They don't get views today. But I've got videos from, 3 years ago that have 10,000 views, and they get a couple of views every day. And they're people that are searching for something that is relevant to that video or related or pertaining to that video, which is the real powerful stuff. And over time, you build up this massive ecosystem of content that is super focused on all these different things. And all of a sudden, it's like you're casting a million different nets in every possible direction. And getting people at every stage of the journey, at every possible pain point and every possible interest, and then you just master the game. You've got this massive Rolodex of videos that are specific to people's problems and what people are searching for. And like you get one customer here, one customer there, one from that video, one from this video. And before you know it, you've got this huge, like gargantuan system that just churns out customers like wildfire, and it's all organic. You didn't have to pay for it, and it's high trust and high intent, and like that puts you in a category of one. That's when you start selling cleaning in a vacuum. That's when you you stop having competitors. Competition is out of the equation at that point. So, that's what I'm trying to hit on at the moment. That's the penny drop moment or the light bulb moment I had a while back, and it's just one video talking to one problem or one solution or one topic. It's targeted towards one possible client, one possible avatar that is searching for that, and it results in real money. It results in people actually taking that action, because I'd rather have 300 targeted views than 30,000 random ones. It looks good, but that's the vanity metrics. Like what we want is the sanity metrics. We want the people that are actually going to convert. And that is through non-conversion focused content, which again, counterintuitive, doesn't really seem to make sense, but it just plays out like that in the real world. So I want to give you a little bit of a challenge. If you're currently making content, but you're not doing enough of this or really any of this at all, and you're not putting much thought into it, or if you don't make any content whatsoever, I want you to start doing this. For the next 7 days, just list 10 to 20 different cleaning problems that clients complain about. It could be reliability with cleaners, communication, insurance. It could be it doesn't have to be problems. It could just be things people aren't sure about. Just think of 10 to 20 different topics, problems, questions, frequently asked questions that your customers have. Write them down and then turn each of them into a how-to video, or just take the 7 best ones and turn them into a how-to video or an informative video, or, just some sort of video that is related to that topic. And then post them publicly. Don't sell in any of them. Don't try to push an offer. Just help them. Just provide value. And then do that for a while, and you will start to see some clients trickle in. You will start to see people are messaging you. People are hitting your contact form on the website. People are booking through the form. And then start to ask that same question I ask. How did you find out about us? And you'll be surprised at just how many people are actually finding you from these little niche videos that you're putting up on the internet. So the data will tell you what's working if you just ask. So yeah, you don't need better content. You just need content that answers questions that people are already asking, which is great for us because that's quite easy to do. You don't have to think of big ideas. You don't have to think outside the box and be super different and create the next big thing that's going to be the next big thing for about a week and then everyone forgets about it. We just need to do more of the simple stuff, more of the fundamental stuff, and we need to do it more, and we need to do it more consistently. So that is the word for today, social media SEO. We are at the forefront of it. We are at the precipice of this very big shift in the online space. We're seeing a lot more people moving away from Google and towards social media as their search engine and their preferred choice of consuming information and finding out things and entertaining themselves and solving problems. So if you can get ahead of that curve and capitalize and act on this, then you will see results and you will reap the rewards of it. So I kind of found out about this by accident. I mean, I'd been doing it just unintentionally, but the day that I got intentional about it, that's when things really started to pick up, and we saw our organic reach and our organic conversions for business just go through the roof. We had so many more customers finding us through Instagram and TikTok as soon as I got intentional about the content that I was creating. So that's all for today. Hope this helped. Hope you found some value in that. Go do that now. List some problems, list some topics and FAQs. Make some videos about that. Even make some blogs even on your website if you want to. Just start to train your mind to think more like that when it comes to content, rather than just trying to go for the next viral video. But also go for the viral video every now and then, because it's good to build the audience. It's good to have the followers. That's great. But focus on what matters. Don't care about the vanity metrics. We only want the sanity metrics, which are going to make us money. So go ahead, take that, use it, and reap the rewards, because there's not many people doing this. So if you can, and you can master this, then you'll be ahead of 99% of the pack. So thanks for listening to another episode of Self-Made. Hope you have an incredible morning, day, night. Keep crushing it, and I'll speak to you again soon.